Can you hear me now?
Not.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so how good is the audio?
And I could also hear me.
Yeah, because I've got the desktop audio.
Okay, sound quality is okay-ish. Well, this is maddening hearing myself in both things.
Well, it's unlisted, so you're not actually streaming right now. We're just testing to make sure it works.
Okay.
Can I have the stream name?
Hi, stream person name friend. Is it on yours?
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to watch it.
I'll go to your YouTube channel and not subscribe to it because I don't want to watch your videos because they're all hour long.
Cautiously realistic.
Just go to his Twitter. You not follow his Twitter. I know. Are you going to launch? Oh, dinner. I mean. What was it?
Hello?
What?
So, are you still there?
Yeah, I was eating.
Okay. So it's all working now?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, got it.
How long is it going to go on for?
Hmm?
How long is it going to go on for?
Hour, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half-ish?
I'll be watching it.
Okay, so since I'm a terrible person, I have two computers, and I'm gonna pull up one of them so I can look at the comments and stuff.
Cool. You phrase things in a very strange way.
I know. That's my trademark. That's what I do. I really annoy my parents when I phrase things in a very oddly specific way. But I don't care because it's amazing the way, because I think that I'm the best wordsmith ever created or invented by our Pastafarian gods.
All right. Let me know when I can share the link on Twitter.
Okay. No, I'm gonna stop this stream and then I'm gonna start a new one that's not unlisted.
Oh, okay.
Because when that happens, then anybody can watch it, and not just they can go to my YouTube channel and watch it there.
Hey, on the bottom right corner of your videos, there's this tiny CR.
Yeah. That's my watermark.
How do you do that?
You go into YouTube. There's a setting somewhere. I forget where it is exactly.
I want to have one of those.
I basically asked Andrexman to make me a little mini version of my logo because it has very specific constraints in terms of the.
Yeah, it's got to be like certain size amount of pixels by a certain.
It's like 20 by 20 or something. So
that's really tiny.
It's really tiny. So then I got him to make one of those for me, and then I put it up.
Okay. Well, let me know when you got the next one running.
So I'm going. Okay. So it should be streaming now.
Is it going? Are we live?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. I see it in my subscriptions. I'm going to pull it up right now.
Pull it up.
Oh, Art Vader's here.
Hi, Art Vader and Dark Knight Fan 75.
Oh, boy. People are showing up now. Sorry it took us 24 minutes to get going, guys.
Yeah, I had to eat dinner, and he decided to eat dinner while we do this, which is a terrible idea, but, you know, whatever.
You're a terrible idea. I'm sorry I made you. You're the worst mistake of my life. I kept thinking I'll just make an android that'll help me make videos better. And then I built you in a lab one day, and this whole time it's just gotten worse and worse.
How's it gotten worse?
Well, because you say things like that. Stop questioning me.
You didn't build me, so how can you question? How does that...
Hey, Diego Rivera's here. What's up?
What's up, mysterious... Okay, hi.
And Dane is here. Hi, Dane.
Who's Dane?
He's the artist on my comic that I'm gonna pitch to Image.
Image, the company founded by Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, Image Comics.
Oh.
Don't worry, they're a lot better now because they actually have writers working for them.
So I'm gonna go on Twitter and yeah, you did it already.
Yeah, I already did the thing. By the way, I just got a page sent in today from the other artist working on that new comic, and it was amazing. Like I sent it to you, but it is like super dense with details and Easter eggs that both add to the story and are also just generally fun.
Hello there, fellow humans. I thought
A lot of people are showing up now.
Woohoo! I'm actually here.
Look, there's a David on screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yes, I am. I'm slightly here.
His hair is getting so long. It's starting to look like mine.
I like the little CR logo in the corner.
I think that's cool. I wish I had a little watermark thing in the corner. I gotta figure out how to do that.
And Drexman made that for me, and he's awesome. He's the best.
Oh, look, Damien. Hey, what's up? He's also doing the lettering on that comic and the coloring on Contest of Slashers.
Woohoo! So yeah, I'm in the collage right now.
The collage in where is it? What state are we gonna say today?
In case you don't know, this is a long time running joke that I decided months ago that every time I say where I'm going to college, it's a different college. So
he's been doing it so long that I forgot what the actual state was. So now even in like normal conversation, he says the wrong one to me, and I get confused.
Also, I just wanted to say this was going to.
And Drexman!
This was going to be a stream with what's his name, with
Josh.
With Josh, but we were bad at planning. And also, we wanted to do like a Skype thing where it's going to be me and Xavier on camera, but Xavier's eating, so.
I'm a little camera shy. I gotta eat these chili cheese fries in the comfort of this dark room. Oh, hey, look, so Andrexman's here. He's the cool guy who does all of our things for us.
Is awesome. He is.
We got our first question. Opinion on Ben 10 reboot.
I haven't watched Ben 10 in years.
I used to be absolutely obsessed with the original cartoons. I loved Ben 10 as a kid.
I did too.
I can't remember how old I was when it first started, but I watched the shit out of that show. I'm actually really surprised to hear that you watched it once upon a time.
Well, I didn't watch it a lot because my parents didn't give us cable.
They only gave you Deadpool.
No. My dad was a real cheapskate, so we only got basic cable. So the only channel that we actually had, and that was for a very brief time, was Disney XD. So I watched a lot of Phineas and Ferb, but they got rid of that. So I didn't watch a lot of cartoons as a kid, but I did watch Ben 10, especially when I went over to visit my cousins, and I liked it. I didn't watch it seriously, but it wasn't bad.
Okay. Ooh, Evan Falarka is here. Hey, man, what's up? Someone else asked, what's our opinion on Linkara and the Nostalgia Critic?
I like the Nostalgia Critic. Linkara, I've watched his videos. They're so boring. I don't want to say that in a mean way, but it's part of that sort of like Channel Awesome thing of just going through what's happening in the story and not so much commenting on it or critiquing it. I mean, there's a balance that you need to hit there, and Linkara is way on the side of just recap.
Yeah,
and especially since it's just comic books, it's not very engaging because it's just you looking at him looking at comic books.
I try to avoid other comic book channels because I don't like letting the things they say and do influence me.
Yeah,
I've on a couple of occasions said some stuff about games that people compared to other videos a lot, and I think that would be even worse in the case of comic books. So
Why am I looking down? I'm looking down at my phone.
Stop texting during the podcast.
Podcasts. Okay, and I'm looking left because that's where I can see your comments.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
where
Nostalgia
the
Critic. I don't think he's perfect. I think he's a very good comedian, but I don't think he's quite as good a reviewer as he is a comedian.
well, I kind of get annoyed with the format sometimes because
Yeah,
it's
it gets a little bit formulaic after a while.
it's it's mostly just here's like a summary of the thing with jokes in it, and then like a single paragraph of actual kind
Although
of.
I did like what he did with Meme Pool.
That was
in
funny.
the green. Occasionally he has something really brilliant that nobody else does, like his Matrix reviews. So
Ooh, Fancy Goblin asks if there's going to be art requests. Man, I don't know. After he drew that picture of you and me fighting as Spider-Man and Sandman, I don't know, man.
thoughts on the Miles Morales movie, the animated movie at Sony Pictures? Well, I mean,
I thought that was supposed to come out this year. What happened?
well, the movie is that the thing with the movie is that what's his name? Phil Lord and Chris Miller are co-writing the script. Now they're going to be directing the next book from Andy Weir for Fox for directions, but they co-wrote the script. So with them writing it, I think I'm more optimistic that it's going to be good. But that's from a non-Spider-Man comic book reader.
I don't know, man. Bendis isn't writing it, so I guess it's going to be all right. That's just my 2 cents. What else? I have to scroll back up. We kind of got on a
Hey, does
whole
the new
tangent.
Spider-Man cartoon suck? I haven't watched it.
I've watched one episode, and it was okay-ish. It was a little cheap looking. I haven't been able to get around to seeing Kingsman 2 yet, although David has, so I'll let him take
No, I
over
haven't
on
seen
that.
Kingsman 2.
You
I was
haven't?
about to, but I forgot to.
Oh, well, man, you know what? Maybe we should hold off on seeing it and wait till you come back, like, maybe for, like, Thanksgiving break or something, and then we could watch it then. Because, like, one of the first things we ever did when we became friends was watch Kingsman 1. Like he brought it over on
I had it on
to my
DVD by
house,
then.
and we just sat up in my room and watched it, and we were just kind of commenting the whole way through. Oh, Diego Rivera asked about Todd McFarlane's new Sam and Twitch TV show.
What's Sam and Twitch?
Sam and Twitch are the two detectives that are featured in the Spawn series. Like, you know, Spawn's doing his whole thing, but then there's two detectives that just kind of follow along and have misadventures trying to figure out what the hell he's doing. Mostly just finding dead bodies. Yeah, I think Todd McFarlane secretly kind of dislikes Spawn. Like, he's kind of grown out of that character because he seems to put a lot of effort into making sure Spawn isn't the main character of things, and honestly seems to like Sam and Twitch more as characters because they're a little bit more grounded and realistic, down to earth. While as Spawn is a guy who fought God and then fought the devil and then used his powers to banish them from Earth and can teleport and has a demon symbiote suit and can time travel, I think, and turns into a white guy even though he was a black guy.
Hmm.
You know, like, I really think Todd McFarlane just kind of hates his own character now. So, I definitely see why he want a Sam and Twitch TV show. What else? More comments. Thoughts on the new Spider-Man cartoon? Well, I saw one episode, and it was surprisingly very tolerable. And this is gonna confuse and shock people when I say this. It was the Miles Morales episode where he got his own powers. I thought it was all right. I honestly, I don't really, I don't dislike Miles as a concept. Like, I think his character has potential to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the way Bendis writes him, because Bendis created him, and is very protective of the character. He doesn't let other writers often take him. But Bendis writes Miles in a very obnoxious way that I think is kind of counterintuitive to what he's trying to do with the character. But when other writers take Miles, he's usually kind of... He has potential in the hands of other writers. And in that show specifically, I actually kind of like the dynamic they have where he's not trying to, like, live in the shadow of Peter Parker, like replace him or do all the same things as him. He more just kind of serves as Spider-Man's, like, goofy younger brother who is, like, who he kind of has to teach. So I'm fine. I'm fine with, sidekick Miles rather than full-on replacement hero Miles, you know?
What happened to Davidian Productions? Well,
there's a Native American tribe that was massacred.
No. No, they were the Branch Davidians, in the case there's going to be a TV show out. Wait, let's see, I'm going to look this up. But there was the Branch Davidians, which are a cult in Texas, and, yeah, if you've ever heard of the Waco Siege, then... yeah.
So we
76
figured it
people
would be a
died.
good idea to...
So
yeah.
I decided that I decided that I'm probably going to want to distance myself from that.
It's like if my name was Columbine Mendoza. Yeah, so, and, I came up with the name Cautiously Realistic because we were just having...
No, I did, because you said what was going to be is that, you should call yourself... No, it was in conversation.
I'm telling the story!
No! Fine.
Okay, so we were trying to figure out a name for a couple of days at that point, and I was like, you can't really force it, it's got to be kind of organic. And at one point, we were just having a conversation about Spider-Man Homecoming, just because that kind of dominated a lot of conversations for a couple of months. And he was like, we were talking about it, and I was like, hey, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. And he said, I'm cautiously realistic about it. And I just replied with, boom, new channel name. There you go.
Yeah, I just thought that Davidian Productions just sounds kind of dorky. And I also really realized that Productions just doesn't sound... I think it just sounds a little bit pretentious.
Well, yeah. Anytime you put your name on a thing, it's like, it's... Even I'm a little iffy about having Mendoza in my name, but at least it's not like...
Well, you can't change it, because it's
Xavierian,
too big.
Xavierian Studios or something. What other questions we got here? Xavier, what did you request? I don't know what to request for art. I'm gonna have to think about that. I also have the hiccups now because I've been eating spicy food. Oh god. If I stutter a whole bunch like David,
what are your thoughts
because
on
of
the DC Comics hero, The Question?
Oh, he's cool. He's kind of like weirdo conspiracy theorist Rorschach.
Xavier. That's pretty funny. Dark Hero says Xavierian Studios. You should change
it would be great.
Xavierian.
Someone's asking you to shake those money makers. So just grab some framed pictures of me and then shake those.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Because I mean, you're the only reason why this is like why people are watching this. So hey, go and tweet and remind people to come here again.
How many people we got watching right now? 24.
25.
That's not bad. That's not bad. And when I was streaming a couple of weeks ago, or months now, jeez, it kind of occurred to me that, like, you get not that many people at one specific time, but by the end of it, it'll show you how many showed up in total, and that number always gets to, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times the ones that are watching at the exact moment. Do we like Man of Steel?
I liked the first 20 minutes, but that's about it.
You like the Krypton stuff.
I did.
I liked the middle 20 minutes. And then parts of the ending. I honestly don't hate Man of Steel. Like, I know a lot of people get very passionate about that movie. It just doesn't bother me. Like, it was fine. Even killing Zod, I know that was very controversial. It's alright. I don't get pissed off about it. Someone said, if you were to recommend any issues of Spider-Man 2099, which one did you recommend? There's not that many 2099 comics, and they're all pretty good. Just read the series
check your
from the start.
messages, Xavier.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Alright. Xavier, Rorschach was based off question. Alan Moore was going to write a story with a bunch of Charlton Comics characters, which includes Question, but DC was like, no, we don't want to use these guys. Alright, yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
Can you review Spider-Man Homecoming? We've already talked about it numerous times on previous podcasts, so go and check
Honestly,
those out.
I'm kind of getting tired of talking about Spider-Man so much.
Well,
like, as much as I absolutely adore the character, I feel like I can do more videos than just Spider-Man.
I think we've criticized it enough in previous podcasts to know what we're talking about. We've already talked about it to death. I've said that I have some problems with it. He likes Problet. Yeah, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah,
we talk about it. We're not going to spend any
If you
more
listen
time.
to the podcast pretty regularly, we've talked about it very extensively. So consider those the reviews. But yeah, I want to do reviews of other things for a little while before I do any other Spider-Man stuff, just because, you know, it's just more fun to mix it up every once in a while after a certain amount of time, because I did like, what was it, like 9 consecutive videos about Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Plus or minus like the cosplay videos. It just
Again.
How's the Hulk retrospective going?
I'm switching
Yeah, the
back.
Hulk retrospective's
had to do
going
some
good.
stuff.
The Hulk retrospective I want to do around the time Thor Ragnarok comes out is when I want to get that out. So right now for October, the intended big review is going to be Ultimate Alliance, which is going very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also going to have a cosplay video. I know I just said I don't want to do that many cosplay, or I don't want to do that any more Spider-Man reviews, but I'm doing another Spider-Man cosplay just because I get asked to do that so often. So I'm going to show off how I made my Scarlet Spider suit, and that's going to hopefully come out around Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, Hulk retrospective should be around November.
November. So, there was a question back there where it said, about Hellboy reboot from Diego. Let's talk about that a little bit, because that's a little bit more interesting. So, David Harbour from Stranger Things, I'm glad to see he's getting more work. This might be controversial, but I think that, yeah, I think that, what was it, what was it,
I have no
Mia
idea how to
Jovovich.
help you finish this.
Mia Jovovich, I think.
I say Mila.
I think she's Mia, whatever. So she's Ukrainian. I don't know, but I think she could be good.
I want
It's
her
not-
and Mila Kunis to star in a movie together, just so they could like confuse everyone.
Let's see. Yeah, she was born in Kiev, Ukraine. Okay.
What does this have to do with the thing? Yeah, I mean, I know she's the villain, but like,
I think she could be good as the villain in the Hellboy, the Red Queen or something like that. That's what it's gonna be.
I don't know nearly enough about.
No, it's the official title. I can look it up.
Okay, I don't know nearly enough about Hellboy to really comment on any of the characters.
I haven't
or anything.
watched the movies, so I don't know anything about it.
I've seen the movies. They're pretty good, including the animated movies. Those are even better.
So Ed, there was a big what was it? Yeah, there was a big fuss back in the past few months. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but oh yeah, it's Hellboy: Rise of the Blood Queen when what was it? Ed Skrein off of Deadpool was cast as one of the bad guys.
Yeah, he was cast as an Asian character.
But they removed him, and then now I believe Daniel Day Kim is attached, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I don't want this to get political, but that's kind of interesting. I don't think that usually happens a lot where, you know, over the whole whitewashing thing, one of the actors decides to step down. Let's see.
It's directed by Neil Marshall, who's mostly got a background in television.
Now, Diego asked what our opinion is of it. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm cautiously optimistic because right now we're in the.
No, you're cautiously realistic, dumbass.
Well, we're. But so Mike Mignola is going to be penning the script.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Comic artist. So he's yeah.
Well, he's the creator of Hellboy.
Yeah, he wrote Blade 2 and the 2004 Blade and the 2008 sequel and the 2018 reboot.
But speaking of Blades, I just got done watching the Blade trilogy, and are
they just as bad as I thought they were?
No, I actually really like the Blade movies. I want Blade to come back in a Netflix series, and maybe Wesley Snipes can come on if he's gonna not be a dick about it. Because I know he kind of held the third movie hostage by like just spending most of the time sitting in his trailer smoking weed, and whenever they're like, "Hey, Wesley Snipes, we need to film another scene with Blade in it," and he's like, "Yeah, whatever," and then would lock the door.
David doesn't like Blade? Well, I haven't watched it, so I don't really have an opinion. I was just being
sarcastic. I recommend them. They're cool movies.
I watched the opening scene of Blade 2 when I was hanging out with him. That's about it.
Blade 2 is awesome. What's our opinions on the current state of the X-Men film franchise?
Well, I think
okay. Legion's awesome.
Legion is good. I'm excited for what was it? The one that's directed by the Fault in Our Stars director, The New Mutants. I think Deadpool 2 I'm not really all that excited for, but I wasn't really excited for Deadpool 1.
Because you're you.
Dark Phoenix is going to be bad. It's already going to be bad.
We've already decided.
It's just going to be bad. There's no point in... I mean...
Gifted looks so boring. I have no interest in Gifted at all, because it is... It really bothers me. It's the same thing as with, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's, hey, let's have a show set in this universe, but then let's have, like, very few actually really cool characters show up in it. It took 4 seasons for anyone interesting to show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, you got schmoes no one cares about, like Deathlock, but then finally we get Ghost Rider. I'm imagining that Gifted is going to take, like, 5 seasons before anyone really interesting or cool from X-Men comics shows up, and otherwise it'll be near indistinguishable from that show Heroes.
Ghost Rider, Netflix TV show or movie because a TV show isn't going to have the budget to do the flame effects. I mean, just look, they got rid of him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because he cost too much money. So
yeah, they had to kick him out for like half the season before bringing him back right at the end because it was so expensive to have his head on screen.
So in terms of practical efforts, there's only going to be a film version.
Oh, by the way, I feel bad for not answering this earlier. My opinion of the first 2 Hellboy films. David hasn't seen them. Hellboy 1 is one of the better comic book films out there just because it's such a well put together film. It really showcases the premise. I think it does the characters a very solid representation. And Hellboy 2, I feel like it just kind of sabotaged itself by having kind of a very generic plot, and the bad guy was pretty lame. I do wish that it got a 3rd movie just because I was interested to see where they were going with it. But you know, sometimes it doesn't happen.
Where is Xavier's majestic face? He is camera shy today. So, but next time we stream, we should be doing like a Skype thing. But he's camera shy this week because he's eating.
What's my opinion on the Punisher films? Okay, the 80s one. The 80s one was kind of boring. Just because I feel like it was just so far off from being a Punisher movie. Like, it used the names, but otherwise it just kind of, you know, and Punisher wasn't in it all that much. 2004 film. I know a lot of people really love the 2004 Punisher movie. I do not. Because it is not a Punisher movie. It is a very kind of standard revenge film. And, you know, it just... there's something that kind of I didn't like about the way Punisher was portrayed in that, because he wasn't as, like, bitter or angry or, you know, serious. He was just kind of like this sort of nice guy everyman. I think they wanted to tone it down to make him a little bit more relatable, but, you know, he spends, like, the last 10 minutes shooting up the crime bosses with a machine gun when he should have been doing that the whole movie, and the rest of it he has this very complicated, stupid plan of, like, putting a fake fire hydrant in front of the crime boss's girlfriend's car and driving it to the place where the crime boss's best friend is staying to create a fake alibi and imply that the two of them were sleeping together so that the crime boss would murder his friend and wife even though his friend is actually gay. And then Punisher could show up and be like, "Ha ha, I fooled you." That's stupid. Just shoot him, you know?
In the face!
FX Deadpool series. Who would I cast as the voice actor for Deadpool? I know a lot of people are really fond of Nolan North, but I kind of only hear Nathan Drake when he talks, so it puts me off to his Deadpool a little. If I had to pick a new Deadpool voice, I don't know, maybe maybe because Archer is ending, they could have H. John Benjamin do it. Oh, and Punisher Warzone. The 2008 movie. I just watched that for the first time, like, a couple days ago, actually. I get what they were going for, but it was a little bit too campy for my taste. Like, it used a lot of stuff from Punisher Max, just not well. Like, McGinty being a parkour crime boss who loves speed, and then the guy getting shot with a rocket launcher out of midair while doing a front flip, and then Punisher punching through someone's entire head because he's that mad. It was just it felt like a movie out of, like, 1992, but it came out in 2008. It was just kind of not what I was hoping for. Although I'm very excited for the Netflix series. I think they're gonna get the tone exactly right in that one. Stoner Deadpool voice from Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, I like that one. Did I ever get a response from Image Comics about my comic? We have not asked them yet. We're gonna get we're gonna get like 6 consecutive pages of the art and the letters and everything done, and colors and everything, like 6 completely done pages, and then we'll add that to our pitch. But we're still working on that. What do I think of my fan page on Twitter? What do you think of that, David?
I don't know. I think it's fine.
I think that's cool, actually. Like,
I think it's cool that they wanted that a person would want to do that. So go ahead.
I think that's neat. I mean, I'm very humbled by it. I really don't know what to say. That someone would want a whole Twitter account devoted to just talking about me. But yeah. Someone make a fan page for David. Yeah, I agree.
Well, subscribe to me first.
Thoughts on Arrow? You've seen the whole first season of Arrow, right, David?
I've seen the first 2 seasons, actually.
Oh, that's how much I watched.
Yeah, that finale for Arrow was just so bad that I just gave up.
Now, here's the thing, is we're going to be in the minority here because a lot of people consider those the good seasons.
I liked the first season.
The first season was pretty solid.
The first season was solid, I would say.
Not a lot to complain about.
Not a lot to complain about, but it started going downhill the instant in the first season because of the what was it? Because what was it? When he stopped killing people. It's like such a dumb reason to stop killing people too. He's just like, my best friend died because the bad guys did bad guy stuff, so now I'm not going to kill anyone.
Can you imagine if Punisher did that? Oh no, Micro's dead, and I killed him. Better stop killing bad guys. I'll use rubber bullets. For me, I think the thing that really killed Season 2 for me was that Deathstroke's, you know, his whole motivation was really poorly thought out. And if you break it down to its basest level, he's kind of the dumbest character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Joey. Joey's, he's both an artist on Contest of Slashers and also doing colors for my Image Comics comic, which is called Pestilence. Well, I Am Become Pestilence.
That's kind of a...
I know you hate that title.
What are your thoughts on it? I haven't seen it.
I saw it. It was pretty good. I think it felt like a movie from like 20 years ago because it was just so... I mean, it had like interesting characters and memorable moments, and it wasn't, oh no, a ghost has friended me on Facebook.
That's an actual movie. There's this whole subgenre of digital-based
so many,
horror movies that are just really
hate
dumb.
that. That's so stupid, trying to incorporate the internet into ghosts. Oh no, a serial killer that has a smiley face on his face is running around. It turns out it's Shane Dawson in disguise.
Yeah, that's the one that starred all the YouTube stars, right?
Yeah, Smiley. That one was real bad. I was mad at Keith David for being in that, even if it was like a 2-minute scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone was trying to...
All horror movies, cyber horror movies are bad. And that includes The Circle.
Oh. Hey, by the way, someone was trying to defend Deathstroke's motivation by saying that the Mirakuru, which, by the way, is hilariously named, made him crazy and illogical. That's stupid to just have... That's
very cheap writing.
That's a really bad way to write your villain, is just, oh, he's crazy.
He's crazy. I mean, even Joker in The Dark Knight had a motivation. It was twisted and it was bizarre,
can't just be...
but he had a motivation.
Your villain can't just be acting completely off of, like, blind impulse and not listening to reason. Like, that just makes them, like, hard to follow, and it makes it very frustrating as a writer. You know, because, okay, so his thought process is, this girl that I like, Shadow...
No, this girl who I'm friends with.
Who I'm friends with, but secretly like.
But warned my friend not to get involved with, because you don't need to get involved with other people, because you shouldn't get attached, because that's only going to lead to bad things.
Yeah, he said all that.
He said that you shouldn't get attached. Apparently he was attached, but the fact that he never expressed that he was attached. And then immediately he decided, oh, he died... And then this random bad guy that I can't trust said that my friend killed him. So who am I going to trust? My best friend or this random bad guy that is trying to kill me? The random bad guy that tried to kill me. Yep.
Okay, so it's just like if your bad guy is in a perpetual state of being on drugs and not 100% understanding what they're even doing, that's a bad motivation. If they're naturally crazy and like the Joker or Carnage or something, you know, if they have some kind of philosophy that makes sense to them at least that they can articulate, sure. If your bad guy is just on drugs and isn't sure why he's even acting like an asshole, then it's just like that's stupid. Harry Osborn becoming Green Goblin before Norman Osborn in the new show. You know, there's another show that tried that, but then did it in a much better way. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called, like, Spectacle Spider-Man or something. It was a really interesting show. I don't know. I don't care much for the new cartoon.
Hey.
I wasn't angered by the episode I saw. I was just kind of not super excited or interested. It was like, yeah, here's the thing that's happening. Just because Spider-Man is in something doesn't necessarily mean I'm excited for it, you know? Like, I get there are some people who will buy something specifically because it has Spider-Man in it, but I'm not one of those people. I'm a little particular about it. I need to know that it's going to be quality, so even that show, it's been hard for me to sit down and just watch an episode of it because I've been just so put off to everything I've seen. Well, let's see, what else do we got? We talked for a while about Arrow. New 52 Wally or pre-52 Wally West?
I don't have an opinion.
Why not both? David, what are your thoughts on it? Even though you haven't seen it.
It looked really bad when I watched the trailers, but I'm just kind of
It's alright. It's okay. It's a little refreshing to have a horror movie where the characters aren't a bunch of, like, obnoxious 20-somethings.
Students? Dumb college girls?
Dumb, drunk college students getting it on and then getting killed.
Hey, are you excited for the second Groundhog Day ripoff of this year? That's called Happy Death Day from, of course, everybody's favorite production company, Blumhouse.
Is that the one where the girl keeps getting killed at, like, a frat party over and over by someone in a baby mask?
Yeah, exactly. That looks awful.
There's a certain point where, like, I just can't keep watching movies about college students getting killed over and over, because as much as I hate college-age white people, actually, just college-age people of all races, they're all pretty obnoxious.
Especially
if you're in college, you're
people.
an asshole.
Yeah. I'm in college.
Yeah. So anyway, like, I hate seeing 18 to 25-year-olds running around
too,
getting drunk, having sex, and then getting murdered by various random killers. Like, it's so boring after a while. Find someone interesting to kill. Have a serial killer at an old folks' home. There, I just pitched you a movie.
That is the plot of Bubba Hotep.
Oh yeah, Bubba Hotep is awesome.
We talked
Bruce
about this on the podcast already when we had
Bruce
the episode
Campbell
with
is
Brandon.
Elvis, who wakes up from a coma and then reveals that he switched out places with an Elvis impersonator who died of a drug overdose in the 70s. So the real Elvis is now an elderly man going to an old folks' home with John F. Kennedy, who's black.
Yeah, it is the best.
What is my favorite non-DC or Marvel comic book character? So that's a hard one to answer because I feel like a lot of DC and Marvel, like non-DC and Marvel comics, like rarely tend to be superhero stuff, or at least the stuff that I read. Like if it's a non-DC or Marvel book, it's usually something that's specifically not even really superhero-y. Although, wait, Luther Strode. The strange talent of Luther Strode and its subsequent 2 sequels are some of the best non-Marvel and DC comics I've read. I really love the art in those books. It's very weird and, like, psychedelic and extraordinarily violent. And it's a really endearing and fun story. If you guys have a way to check out Luther Strode, absolutely. It's
Valerian
awesome.
and Laureline.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
pretty
them
good,
too.
It's ended, so it's not. There's not like 100 back issues of it or something.
Am I excited for Black Lightning? Is it on CW? Because if it is, then no.
Favorite non-comic book cartoon, easy, Invader Zim. Number 2, Animaniacs.
That's a hard one. I watched a lot of cartoons because my mom got freaked out by Columbine, so I didn't go to school, like school, until I was 11. I was homeschooled before that. So I did homework for 1 hour of a day, and then the entire rest of it, I just watched cartoons.
Oh, Columbine. That's fun.
Yeah,
Because,
How many cartoons did I watch that weren't superhero-based? I really liked Ed, Ed, and Eddie as a kid. That was awesome. But, also Kids Next Door and Billy and Mandy.
Kids Next Door, was that the one about the clubhouse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one, I love that one's pretty good. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, that one's pretty good.
Definitely awesome. Would I like to see more superhero, or would I like to do more superhero cartoon vids like Spawn? Yes, I would absolutely love to review them. It just takes a little bit longer than a video game because it's just more stuff to watch. I've been having a very hard time finding free time this whole summer just because I've been working so hard on the Deadpool review took up a lot of my time, and then also other personal matters and relationships and stuff.
People are saying like SpongeBob and Phineas and Ferb as well. Danny Phantom, I haven't watched Danny Phantom. SpongeBob was pretty good. I feel like it's Simpsons for kids now, in that it used to be great and it's just gone down the tube and it somehow keeps going.
Wait, what show?
SpongeBob is the kids' version of the Simpsons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Phineas and Ferb was amazing. I love Phineas and Ferb. But I don't think of that as... But I watched that when I was a little bit older, so... I didn't think of it as much.
Someone asked again if I've seen Kingsman: The Golden Circle. No, not yet. What do we think about Sin City?
Haven't seen it.
Haven't read it. I saw it, but I didn't read the comic version, which I want to. Saga is pretty good. I've heard that. Someone at my school was telling me about Saga the other day. Have I read America yet? You mean the one with America Chavez? Who runs around saying, "Holy menstruation!" Because that's how people talk.
What?
No, man, there's nothing, like, overtly feminist about this book. Holy menstruation! Like, do you ever do that, David? Do you just walk around talking about your dick constantly? Because that's how men talk, right?
Some people do.
That's how people talk.
I'm surprised. Some people do, and it's not very fun when they do.
It's just, ugh. Yeah, that's so... I read the first issue, and it was just, like, I know the character has been cool in the past. Not under that writer. Could not get into it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Holy menstruation, Batman! I like the idea of Robin just going, "Holy shit, Batman!" And then Batman going, that wasn't clever.
Don't swear, No, it says, no, you need to be more clever with your wordplay, Robin.
Robin, you need to have, like, alliteration in there. Holy haberdashery, Batman.
Holy guacamole.
There you go, those are slightly better. But they have to be, like, situationally appropriate, too. So, like, what if we walk into a crime scene full of dead bodies, Batman? Well, say something. How about, holy conniving cadavers, Batman! There you go. Say that one. And Drexman says we should do the, live podcast at least once a month. I think that's the plan, right?
I think we're probably, in the future, we're probably going to figure out a way to do it on Xavier's channel in the future, probably.
Yeah, we were gonna do this one on my channel, but I fucked up my settings in OBS because I was trying to get it ready for streaming games, so it had all kinds of delays set to it, and I also still don't know how to use it. What are my thoughts on Riri Williams?
Do you have anything new to say that you haven't said already when previously talking about the stuff that's going on in Marvel Comics today?
I think people might want to go check out our previous podcast
Everything
because
wrong
I
with
talked
Marvel
pretty
today. That's when you talk
extensively
about
about
it.
that. Yeah, the you can almost tell specifically which podcasts I talk about it in because either they're really political, so we put that in the title, or we talk about everything wrong with Marvel, or whatever. I'm just gonna say not a fan. Thoughts on the new Teen Titans cartoon? Oh, not the new one, the old one. Oh, the old one was fantastic. It's some of the best
haven't watched
animation
it.
on TV. Favorite video games for each of us. My favorite video game ever is Dead Space. Dead Space is the bestest. I should do a Let's Play of it sometime. Did you know that Danny Rand is the immortal Iron Fist and that he's the protector of Kun Lun, sworn enemy of the Hand? No, I didn't. I didn't know that, Danny Rand. Maybe tell me it a few more times, just in case, so I don't forget. Maybe bring it up at least twice an episode.
I
How
haven't
about that?
look, here's the thing. I haven't watched the Defenders, and I haven't watched Iron Fist, so I don't care.
Which
What's-
X-Men show is your favorite?
X-Men
X-Men
show. I'm not a big fan of the '90s one. I like it, but I think it just isn't quite as good as it could be. So I think that my favorite is probably X-Men Evolution, but I also think that Wolverine and the X-Men is pretty good. Favorite movie? Easy, Dark City. Dark City is amazing.
Favorite movie? The Thing. Xavier, do you think Wolverine should be in the all-new, all-different in the newer movies? Like have X-23 be Wolverine for all
I think that would be a
subsequent
natural
movies?
progression from what they did with the Wolverine, with Logan.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of counterintuitive to the whole character arc because Wolverine was like, hey, you don't have to be a violent psychopathic murderer, small child. And she's like, okay. And then he has to be the violent psychopathic murderizer man at the end of the movie. And then she runs off to go, like, play in the sunset. If she just started putting on a yellow and blue costume and carving up bad guys, it would kind of, like, negate what he told her, so I don't know if that would necessarily work. Someone says he likes to think Wolverine and the X-Men is a sequel to Evolution. I'd like to think that too, although I think they kind of contradict each other, like they cover the same storylines multiple times. Like for example, Rogue joining the Brotherhood of Mutants for a little while. That happens in both shows, but it's treated in both as the first time that happened. So I don't really consider it a thing. You know what's really disappointing? And I know you don't care. You're going to roll your eyes at this. They were going to do Wolverine in the X-Men Season 2, and they were going to have Nolan North's Deadpool in it, and they were like, we're going to push the PG-13 barrier so hard, like, as much as we can get away with on this show with him. And I thought that would have been so fun to see, like, how much can you get away with saying in a kid's cartoon with that character. And they even had, like, the design online and everything.
I think it'd be kind of cool, because I think that would force the artists or the writers to be a little bit more clever with the jokes, because a big problem I had with Deadpool, the movie, is just ha 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 sex jokes, ha 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 Taken. And I think that
the initial shock of hearing... Yeah, the initial shock of hearing someone in a superhero costume say the F word runs out kind of quickly, and it just becomes a little standard throughout it. But like I had watched both of the Kick-Ass movies like right before Deadpool, just because I was like in the mood for like R-rated superhero stuff at the time. So I was a little bit jaded to it at that point. So hearing Deadpool say the F word was like, okay.
I mean,
it's funny, yeah, but I don't know. They kind of relied on it a lot.
Especially the way Ryan Reynolds riffed, because all the good Ryan Reynolds improvisation was in the trailer, and then the rest of it was bad.
Xavier, do you like how Joe Kelly writes Spider-Man? I sure do. I read some of his Spider-Man stuff from like right around the Brand New Day era. It was before Dan Slott became the lead writer on it, and they were kind of switching around through a whole team of writers. He did a couple of cool ones where, like, Hammerhead was, like, a cyborg running around fighting people, and it was, like, excessively violent, and it was pretty neat. What else?
I don't like Kick-Ass 1 and 2. I haven't seen the second one. I watched the first one, and I'll say that it is not my favorite. Not my favorite Matthew Vaughn movie.
Actually, we watched Kick-Ass 1 with Josh for
There's
an
a
episode of Couch Potatoes.
that I've gotten in the war chest that I'm gonna release sometime.
But as soon as you left after that, we found out that apparently Josh couldn't go home for like an extra 2 hours. So we were like, "What are we gonna do to kill time?" And he's like, "Well, we could watch Kick-Ass 2." So we did that.
No, we watched Kingsman.
No, like after you left.
Oh,
after
okay.
Because we watched Kingsman and then you went home, and then I guess like his dad was like, "Nah, we can't. We won't be home. Just like hang out for a little while." So we were like, "All right," and we watched Kick-Ass 2, and he kept getting mad because Hit Girl kept doing things that were dramatically out of character based on how she was in the first movie, and I was like, "Yeah, exactly." Aw, and Drexman, I see ya, Portugal man. It was good having you.
Yep.
I'm sorry you won't be able to stay for the whole thing. How long have we been going?
We're about an hour, so we can if there's enough interest, we can stay here for another half an hour.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. I have tons of questions to get through.
Let's see. What was I thinking of?
Pitches to what direction Web of Shadows 2 could have taken. Well, I feel like it would have been neat to see Carnage in that universe, since
Shadow
he was
of
kind of
Webs.
Yeah. Carnage was not referenced at all in the first game, despite being like kind of a major part of the lore. It was a little weird that they kind of treated it like he didn't exist. But I guess they were kind of holding off until like Spider-Man 4 would have came out before doing anything like that. I would have done like the fallout of the city being put back together after the invasion, and then having Carnage have something to do with it. I don't know what other direction they could have done. Did Dan Slott reply on having an interview? No, I'm taking his silence as a refusal, because he's a giant coward and impersonates people online to have their lives ruined. He's a very, very scummy person.
At least he's not a YouTuber.
He has not blocked me yet, though. Number 1 fictional man and woman crush. Well then. For woman, I would say Janet Van Dyne. She's super cool.
What about Hope? What about Hope Van Dyne?
She's not as cool. She doesn't have as short of hair. Someone earlier asked if I have
Fictional
heard of
man crush
read.
is Xavier is Pennywise.
Oh God, more Pennywise. No, I'm not into the daddy wise thing. That's weird.
Oh, I had an idea. I'm going to interrupt the questions for a section. We're going to come back to that.
Do I think Captain Marvel looks like a man? No, I think he looks like a small child pretending to be a man.
I have a plan.
Shazam!
I have a plan. I am going to do something because does anybody in the who's watching this know what my
Liam, I cut off
is?
my pinky finger.
Wait, stop. Do you know who my immortal is? What my immortal is?
It's something.
Does
you
anybody
keep asking me
who's
if I
watching
read.
know what this is? It is one of the most infamous examples of bad fan fiction.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is that I am going to read this for Xavier just so that he can know what it's like, because he hasn't read this yet. It's Harry Potter fan fiction.
I didn't even know it was Harry Potter.
It is. So I'm going to read this. Chapter 1. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me that I look like Amy Lee. And if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here.
Why? Why, God?
I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have light pale skin. I am also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots.
I wish goth girls were still a thing.
I was wearing black
They've been
lipstick, white
replaced by
foundation,
these
black
small
eyeliner,
girls.
and red shadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. "Hi, Ebony," shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me away and I had to go away.
Why is this a thing that exists? Just can you skip ahead to the next? Like, do okay.
Chapter 2.
Control.
The next
go,
day I woke up
Control
in
F and then just search the word cock.
The
And then
next
just
day,
see-
I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had.
Damien, do any of them live in the Colorado area? Send me links.
This is amazing. I love this. The coffin was black ebony and inside it was hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress,
This
a pentagram
sounds like it was
necklace,
written as a joke
combat
on
boots,
purpose.
and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings and my pierced ears and put my hair in kind of messy bun. This is amazing because this fan fiction, nobody can tell. Nobody knows if it was fake or not. Or my friend Willow and Raven, this is you, woke up and then grinned at me. She flipped her long waist length raven black hair with pink strings and opened her forest green eyes. So if you're grinning at her before she had her eyes closed, when she had her eyes closed, so she's just grinning with her eyes closed at you.
Well, it's like in anime where everyone closes their eyes and smiles, even though people don't actually
She put
do
on
that.
her black Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini fishnets and
Oh,
bloody
Jesus
high-heeled
Christ.
boots. We put on our black makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. "Oh, MSG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday," she says. "Yeah, so," I said, blushing.
What is
"Do you
that
like
voice?
Draco?" She asked as we went out into the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. "No, I so fucking don't," I shouted. "Yeah, right," she exclaimed. Just then,
is that
Draco
voice?
walked up to me. "Hi," he said. "Hi," I said.
Hold on, David.
David,
David, hold on. Send me a link to this story and I'll read the part of Draco Malfoy. That'll make it worse.
Okay, that's gonna be amazing. It's gonna get even better when we get to the sex scene.
Oh, okay, yes, perfect.
Okay, I've sent it to you.
Alright, so I'm still waiting.
Send.
There we go, there it is. Alright. Okay.
Okay,
I'm so excited. Okay.
We're gonna start up at the line where it says "Hi," he said.
Hi. I don't know what Draco Malfoy sounds like.
"Hi," I replied fertily.
Guess what?
He said. "What?" I asked.
Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade.
He told me. "Oh my fucking god!" I screamed. "I love Good Charlotte. They are my favorite band besides MCR, of course. Everybody loves MCR."
Well, do you want to go with me?
He asked. I gasped.
I don't know what voice I'm doing right now, but I think it fits.
On the night
This
of the
is
concert,
nothing like Draco. Good!
on the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots and with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all the corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnet on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little bit depressed then, so I just slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC, Good Charlotte.
Well, you just casually slit your wrists for fun. Like I just like
Then
that's
I put
kind
on
of
some
a big
black-
deal.
Then I put on
Was
some
it
black
vertical or horizontal? Oh God, get her medical attention.
I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway, because, you know, you slit your wrist. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. Good to keep your fluids. Keep going. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of him with his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants.
Shirt.
He's wearing baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. And a lot faux cool boys wear it, okay? Hi, Drake. Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice.
Hi, Ebony.
He said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. Flying Mercedes-Benz, of course. The license plate said 666.
Of course it did.
And
what else would it possibly say?
And flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson.
No, Damien, keep analyzing this.
We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both...
Cigarettes and drugs. Which one? Just drugs.
We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped out and listened to Good Charlotte. You be Good Charlotte and sing the lyrics.
Oh God, I don't know how to sing.
Just do it.
You come in cold, you covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life.
Sang Joel.
What?
Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly Draco looked sad.
Amazing. Oh.
You need to go. You're your line now.
No, it's your line.
No. Oh yeah. What's wrong? I asked as we watched the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you.
Really?
Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I hate that. I fucking hate that little bitch. I said disgustingly, thinking of her ugly blonde face.
Part of me thinks this author is projecting a little.
The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got concert teas. Joel and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back to Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest.
Oh, that's where all the teenagers go to have unprotected sex.
And, Draco! I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily.
Ebony?
What? Oh, and you're gonna voice the character that's coming up soon, okay?
Okay.
Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts.
Does he have red eyes?
No, he has color contacts for eyes.
Oh, okay, alright, that's...
yeah. Which revealed
people
so
do
much...
that.
Look into his gothic red eyes, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco
kissed me passionately.
Draco climbed on top of me.
Who the fuck proofread this?
And we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took of my top, and I took of his clothes. I even took of my bra. This is the best line of it, like right now. This is the amazing line that I wanted to read this for. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time.
Yeah, keep reading. Keep reading, asshole. There's still more to this.
Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm.
I was beginning to get one.
And then...
What the hell are you doing, motherfuckers?
It was Dumbledore!
I said it that way because it was misspelled.
I love how Dumbledore just runs into them and says, "What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers?"
You motherfuckers.
I'm gonna stop it
Why
there.
is it spelled like that? Okay, we'll pick this up next time. You remember, everyone, we're at chapter 5.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find another fic for us to read, but it's gonna be better.
Damn, we should read one more day.
No.
Someone suggest.
I want to read I want to read some. So I'm curious. Do you want to read a?
Damien's really upset at how poorly that sex scene was written.
He put his thingy into my you-know-what.
It's like this was written by like a 13-year-old who wanted to have a sex scene but was like really shy about it, so just kind of like glossed over it.
Do you want to read a Pennywise X Reader fanfiction?
No.
Why not? It's either that or you read Spidey Pool.
I don't like the Daddy Wise thing. I'm not behind it.
Hey, it's Daddy Wise or Spidey Pool.
Oh God. You know what's worse is that I've become like the internet Spider-Man voice actor now. So if I read Spidey Pool fan fiction in voice as Spider-Man,
do it.
God,
it's gonna be amazing. Please do it.
Only if we can get Ryan Reynolds on here to do the part of Deadpool. Nah, he's
Deadpool.
Cool. That would be terrible. The worst part is that the girl probably is a closet goth. She doesn't have any band merch or has blonde hair and pink clothes IRL. Oh yeah, you know.
I'm gonna try and find a Spidey Pool fic.
Oh God, why do these exist? The thing that I hate about it is, okay, I know a lot of people are like, hey, Xavier, what's your thoughts on Spidey Pool? Because I like both of those characters. I know someone's going to be able to, like, misconstrue this and, like, turn it into, like, oh, Xavier's a homophobe. I think if a character is straight for 50-plus years of canon, that they're straight, and changing that is dumb. And I think, even though... This is another thing. People tell me Deadpool is pansexual. When? Yes, he's, like... There's been a few jokes about him being attracted to dudes, but he's only ever engaged in any kind of sexual behavior with women. You know, maybe sometimes they were, like, obese space aliens, but they were still women. I've never seen him... like, actively try to go after a guy at any point. I think the pansexual thing is just a thing the director said, so that,
they called it gay baiting.
Gay baiting, yeah. You can get people really excited about how progressive your movie is without even being progressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't look up Spidey Pool, kids. Hey, Xavier, have you read 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank? If so, what's your thoughts? No, I have not read that. I don't know what that is. Is it about 4 kids robbing a bank? Because that reminds me of, like, a Disney Channel original movie.
Do you want to read another fan fiction?
I want to die. Have I read Neil Gaiman's Sandman comic series? No, I'm saving that for a special occasion. I have a long list of backlogged comics that I'm reading through. Right now I'm reading old 90s Venom comics and also Deadpool Bad Blood. I'm kind of alternating. I have a very long list of comics that I have to read, and I keep adding things to it, and it's just taking me a very long time to get through them. I want to check out Saga soon. That's on the list. I also have to, I was...
Ooh, what about reading this Spidey Pool fic? This sounds awful. It's called Doctor. Here are the tags. Peter Parker / Wade Wilson. Peter Parker, Wade Wilson, medical kink, medical procedures, medical trauma, DS, Dom Sub, Dr. Peter, Patient Wade.
Why? 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 Why are you like this? Look at the comments on the stream. It's just everyone yelling at you.
Look, it's either this or Daddy Wise, so...
Everyone's mad.
How
Have
about
I checked out JoJo's Bizarre Adventure yet? No.
let's do Pennywise X Reader instead?
Alright, who am I gonna be? Am I gonna be Pennywise or the Reader? Because I feel like I could do a pretty good one for both.
You're the reader.
Fuck! I love the comments. David, fuck's sake! Everyone hates you. Everyone hated you enough already for the Spider-Man PS4 video. Now everyone hates you more. Like I don't know. Is your plan to just make the audience mad forever?
No, I'm gonna be the narrator who reads it as you, and you're gonna be Pennywise.
Xavier, do you wish you were the president of Marvel Comics? No, I wish I was just a writer. I want to write comics. I don't want to be the president. All I do all day is just like...
I'm not going to read Sonic fanfiction, because that's a step too far.
You're too slow! Come on, step it up! Tails, help me out with this. Oh no, Eggman's here! With his eggs! You know? Oh, Damien suggested we read Spider-Cest.
What? What's that?
Have you not heard of that?
No.
Okay, so, alright, in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Spider-Woman, instead of being like a separate character, is actually a clone of Spider-Man, where they, you know, messed around with the chromosomes and made it a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So basically Peter Parker has an exact duplicate of himself that's a girl. And someone did a fanfic comic in the same sort of like, you know, idea as Contest of Slashers, where it's like, hey, what if we just make our own story? And basically Spider-Man and his clone female version of himself just do it for like 9 issues straight, 20 pages each, and then keep getting other characters involved. And even though it's like weird and incestuous, their argument is that if it's a clone, it's technically masturbation.
Wow. There's some really bizarre fanfics here that have nothing to do with Pennywise. Like there's this one, Obama's Fun Night with BTS.
Holy shit, what?
Ex Barack Obama. Tim Tae-hyung ex Barack Obama.
Did you say Dane Cook ex Barack Obama?
No, John Jungkook.
Fuck,
BTS.
I wish it was Dane Cook.
BTS
totally
is a K-pop band. So they're having
would love to voice over Dane.
So they're having,
can you look that up?
Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Mike Pence, and Donald Trump, Taylor Swift, Tessa Brooks, Pennywise, and Jake Paul all have a demon ritual and an orgy with BTS.
Okay, hold on. Can you look up like Barack Obama x Dane Cook? Because I could do both of those voices. No, do it. Just do it. Because I could do both of those voices.
I am not going to do that.
Barack Obama, I've been a big fan of yours for a very long time. Huge fan, giant fan, biggest fan. But I think that, maybe I'm just not ready for this kind of relationship in my life right now. I think you're maybe pushing this a little bit too far. Well, Dane, I think that, it's time we, took this to the next level, and, I would rather have you than Michelle, in all honesty, her arms. But Dane, you're very funny, man. Since I stopped being president, I've wanted to explore more things in life, and, you know, homosexuality seems to be one of those more interesting things that I've been wanting to explore, and, you know, your hair reminds me of Charlie Day, you know? Alright, there you go.
That was amazing. Somebody animate that.
What non-white race has the best women? Oh, Asians, of course. They're the best.
It didn't turn out.
0x Mad Moxie fanfics. Is that a
Check
thing?
your after this stream.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hi, David's roommate. What's up?
Can I come on your stream?
Xavier,
No.
what are your thoughts on season 3 of Rick and Morty?
We're reading.
It's
We're
alright. It's okay.
Marilyn
Marilyn Manson got crushed by a stage prop the other day? Is he okay? Please tell me Marilyn Manson's alright.
Why? Why would Marilyn Manson?
He got crushed by a stage prop.
Oh.
I hope he's okay.
Oh, fun.
Everyone knows that I love trashy, like, gothy 90s music. I listen to Slipknot and Korn and Mudvayne and Marilyn Manson. Yeah, I'm a closet goth. I don't know if you knew. But not like the obnoxious, like, MCR kind. Like the actual cool kind. Oh, thank God. Marilyn Manson's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys, everyone. I've been really practicing my Dane Cook impression for a while. I was waiting for the right...
Dane, who's
right
Dane Cook?
moment. He's a stand-up comedian.
Okay, cool.
You're gonna look him up after this and be like, oh God!
What?
Why do all Asian girls in cartoons have purple hair streaks?
Because anime.
Because anime. Xavier, do you have any critiques about my art?
It's art.
It's art. Read more Ernest Cline. God, no. We'll read porn all day, but Ernest Cline is too far, man. All right? That's too much. Come on now.
What
This is a family
what about
podcast.
this Pennywise X reader? You, Pennywise, genderless reader, unnamed reader, vague, creepy, dubcon, dubious consent, tentacles, PWP.
What does PWP mean?
I don't know.
Can you look it up?
Hey, people online, what does PWP mean?
What's my opinion on the Tick? I haven't seen the new one, but I really like the old one. Everyone hates you so much for even suggesting this.
It's like when Lindsay Ellis had the big tweet thread about Pennywise, and then everybody was just giving her gifts of no.
Can we kill David from here?
I'm just drinking your tears right now. I've got a mug full of your tears.
Male tears.
Well, everybody's tears.
Fave episode of Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh,
That
here's a
one
short
is
one. It's
season
only
2.
304 words. Let's do this one.
Okay, alright. Well, hold on. Someone asked me what my favorite episode of Spectacular Spider-Man is. It's that one in season 2 where it's like, it has like 15 straight minutes of Spider-Man and Venom fighting, and it gets so absurd because they fight up and down an entire building, into the street and out of the street, and then into the building, and then down a staircase, and then into a locker room. Like, it's just this absurdly elongated fight sequence that just won't stop, and it gets so good. Thoughts on Death Note? I've been watching the anime, actually. I really like it.
I have been, too.
It's very smartly written. I like how it's a show that tries to account for all possible variables in the story and then kind of, like, figure out ways to get out of them. The main character is very interesting in that he's kind of unlike any main character I've ever really seen in a story before. Like, I like the anime. It's pretty good. I haven't watched the movie just because I keep thinking that it's going to be complete garbage.
The movie, the movie is like an entire season of a TV show on fast forward. So,
you know,
I found this.
This reminds me of this
one
one time. Oh, hold on. This reminds me of this one time. I had this ex-girlfriend a couple of years ago. She was pretty weird. She would make me talk with her on Skype for like 12 hours a day and get mad at me and say I'm like neglecting her if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it would get really annoying because she would start bringing on her friends and then they would just start reading fan fictions to each other while I was there listening. And one of them was like, I think all the members of a certain band, I think it was My Chemical Romance. It was a fanfic about the members of My Chemical Romance just standing around in a circle doing stuff in a hat.
See you, Diego. Bye.
Oh, bye, Diego. I'm sorry you had to listen to us talking about this for the past hour. But anyway, and you know, my ex, I kept asking her, why do you like this? Like, what do you read this for? What purpose do you read My Chemical Romance band members standing around jerking off into a hat? Like, why is that interesting to you? Do you read it for fun? And she goes, no, I read it for you-know-what. And I'm like, why? Why are you like this?
I don't know either, but some of it is very entertainingly bad. So,
like, if you're a girl, of all the things to get off to, like, why? That's weird.
Listen, I'm gonna switch to my face cam again, and I'm gonna read this for you, so follow along, and I want you to read for Pennywise, okay? I've sent it to you.
Oh, put your face on screen so everyone can see.
That's what I'm doing. So I can see you while you're reading it. So, this is called 1. Choking and teasing are additional tags. It's 300 words.
Send it to me.
I already have.
Okay. For fuck's sake.
Are you
this
ready?
is only like 3 paragraphs.
Are you ready?
Okay, which one am I reading
You're
for?
going to be reading for Pennywise.
Oh god.
I'm going to be the narrator because it's a Pennywise X reader. So you people who are listening, they're reading you, so you can imagine yourself as these characters. Movement to your left, a glimmer, a shadow off the water's surface. You wonder if it's worth humoring your dignity trying to run. Before you've chosen, he bounds towards you, stopping to stand over you as you can only gape, limbs frozen in terror.
Naughty little thing. What are you doing here,
He smiles mischievously, voice dulling into a growl.
Wouldn't want to get hurt.
He stares down, eyes a starving, screaming yellow. He extends a hand, wrapping it around your neck and backing you into the damp brick wall behind you. You feel the glove against your jawline. Your neck is jarringly exposed. It's blood-boilingly inconvenient, but you feel a rush of heat between your legs as his fingers press against your mandible, his face looming over yours.
You must have known how dangerous it'd be, naughty thing.
You can't but help let out a little bit of a moan.
Jesus Christ.
Stretching your head further back instinctively. It shouldn't be doing this to you, but it does.
Plot
Naughty
twist.
thing.
It's not the Skarsgård Pennywise.
He pulls his hand from your throat, grinding
the
it
other
up to grip your
Pennywise.
jawline. When you meet his eyes again, they're filled with something unfamiliar.
That's not what good girls do when they get choked, you know?
Your cheeks flush.
What?
Your cheeks flush. Your turn. Keep going.
Something tells me you'd like if Pennywise had his way with you,
He sounds positively gleeful.
Get
He
more
grins,
crusty, clownish.
leaning down to meet your eye level. He tauntingly parts your
forget
lip
what
and
Tim
with
Curry
his tongue,
Pennywise sounds
lapping gently at your mouth. You taste stale candy and copper. Drool falls from his parted lips onto your chin, but you don't resist. It's so alluring. The candor, the closeness.
I'm just waiting to...
and
You know what?
fear.
3 people left because you did
see
this.
the playful glint in his eyes. He leans in, pressing you to the wall with his body, tightening around your throat.
Let's play then. I don't... You're a dick, you know that?
That was amazing.
Xavier, don't give him what he wants. I forget what Tim Curry Pennywise sounds like.
I just
probably
stopped
wasn't doing
because
it good.
see, I told you it would only be 300 words. So
I think I
there
was
we go.
doing okay is what's his name, Skarsgård Pennywise.
Hey, calm down. I just finished. It's over.
Yeah, you just finished, you creep.
What?
I made a joke about you ejaculating.
Okay.
Oh,
then.
hey, new viewers are in. Hello, everyone.
Hello, back again.
We all float down here.
That was 304 words, not 300, so it was a lot longer.
Oh, you're a bad person. Okay,
Why am I a bad person?
Xavier, when are you going to get good and finish Dark Souls? I did finish Dark Souls. I finished the first one. I didn't finish Dark Souls 2 or 3. Or Bloodborne. Or that other one. Isn't there another one? Yeah, Demon Souls. I haven't finished that. I finished only one Dark Souls game. It was bad. How long have we been going?
We're about an hour and a half now. An hour and 35.
Hold on, I'm gonna go let my cat out of the room because he's being annoying. Go look up the room script.
I don't know where the room script is. The room script. Does anybody know if there's like a link or something that I can find for the room script?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Let's see. I'm downloading it. I'm not sure if this is it. The Room by Tommy P.
Downloads
Wiseau.
a bunch of viruses. Oh, Damien's leaving. He's got to try and win a video game. All right, have fun doing the letters, because you're gonna do that, right? You don't forget. Don't forget. And use both of those fonts. I don't know. Anyway, long live the bridge crab. We should have Hannah on the podcast.
What?
We should have Hannah on the podcast, the bridge crab.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen The Room, so I don't know if the script is...
I like both the fonts you sent me, Damien. The second one I think is cool looking. Oh boy, people are sending me shit on Discord now too. Wait, that's not Discord. That's that comic book site. I mean, what? Huh? I purchase all of my comics legally.
So do you want to find a, do you want to read the Room script, or what?
Oh, someone called me a racial slur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, do you want to read the Room script or not?
Oh, Demi-Humans. Okay, so...
What's that?
It's a series I'm working. It's an animated series on YouTube that I'm doing the voice for one of the main characters for. My friend Joey is writing and animating it. He's pretty talented. He's a kick-ass artist. How would I get Spidey and MJ's marriage back? Well, I'd have Dan Slott get into the car accident from Doctor Strange, so his hands are busted and he can't write anymore. And then I'd probably have Chip Zdarsky just accidentally slip on a banana peel and fall down 7 flights of stairs. Because I feel like, you know, of all the ways for him to die, that would probably be the one he's most happy with. And then I would just have like someone talented like Gary Conway write it. You know, like someone who actually understands how to tell a story.
Hey, Xavier, can you do a Tommy Wiseau voice?
Give me a line. What do I say?
Hi, babe, these are for you.
Hi, babe, these are for you.
It's better than what I can do.
I did not hit her. It's bullshit. I did not. She's lying. Oh, hi, Mark. How is your sex life? Hi, doggy.
Hello, doggy. Bye.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Just like 30 seconds of quiet, then. I do like Chip Zdarsky. I just think he's not good at writing Spider-Man. He's not doing a good job. I would much rather he go back to writing Star-Lord, because that was a really awesome series. The current Spectacular Spider-Man thing. Okay, so let me run over my problem with the Spectacular Spider-Man book that's out right now. So issue 2. Let me pull it up. I'll give you a live example of what my problem with it is. Oh boy, people are on Facebook or Fancy Goblin wants to animate the Pennywise thing. Go for it, man. Do it.
Do it.
Absolutely do that.
I want to see that.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up that Spectacular Spider-Man comic. David, talk about something while I do this.
Talk about something. One of the people in the chat said, "What's an unpopular opinion about something, something that's popular?" That's a hard one.
Unpopular opinion? Well, David, you're just full of those, aren't you?
Um.
What's your opinion of the Star Wars? All those
Well,
wars with stars in them.
I've had Star Wars ruined for me because my brother really liked Star Wars.
And he's
So
very obnoxious and in your face about it. Like he is to Star Wars what the internet is to Rick and Morty lately. You know? Okay, alright, so I pulled it up, alright. So, issue 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man. You know, we just found out a little bit more about the plot, about what's going on and what the villain's plan is. And then Human Torch is like, hey, we need to go take care of this. And then Spidey's like, no, I need you to watch my secret agent sister that's actually not my sister for a little while. I gotta go do something. And then he leaves. And he goes on a date with a girl as Spider-Man. And he shows up, you know, and he's like, hey, I hope you weren't waiting long. And, you know, she's just sitting there and she starts talking about her day. And then Spider-Man has a conversation with the barista about how the coffee is a little bit overpriced, you know. And she starts talking about how she's, you know, reading articles about Spider-Man on her phone. And they're having a fun time laughing about those. And they're having a conversation about her career. You know, she's a stand-up comedian. And Spider-Man drinks his coffee and, you know, talks about how he makes jokes at supervillains.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, there's a guy who's being rude to the barista, and Spider-Man tells him to chill out, and the guy's like, all right. And then the Human Torch is actually bummed out that Spider-Man didn't want to hang out with him. So Johnny Storm shows up, and he goes and sits down at another table. And then he starts wafting flame over in the direction of Peter Parker to make him sweaty and embarrassed in front of his date, right? And then, like, do you see my problem with this?
Under my own name.
Does anyone notice that this is not a fucking comic with a story? This is a Seinfeld episode with Spider-Man characters. They're just sitting around talking. No one's doing anything.
Oh, that's me.
It's just 6 straight pages of bullshit. It's a fucking sitcom. It's so bad.
Right now.
Alright.
And then he calls Riri Williams, and you know how I feel about her, and they have a little conversation about that. And then the issue ends, and nothing happens. It's just 2 different scenes of conversations.
Yeah, Xavier, do take your medication. That'd be good.
Wish Chip would start putting focus into... You know, I think the reason Chip Zdarsky's Star-Lord comic was cool is because he was allowed to, like... no, he didn't have it as an ongoing. It was like a limited series, I think. So they're like, tell as much story as you can in as few issues as possible. So he didn't have time to meander. So it had like to have forward momentum, and the characters had to get things done. But with this Spider-Man comic, it's like it's really just kind of a thing that's just going to keep going until the sales dip or until the creative team gets bored. So he has as much time as he wants to just fuck around and not actually get to the story. Ugh. I'm not a big fan. I have loved Chip Zdarsky's other comics that he's written because I felt like there was more forward momentum in the plot. And also I felt like he didn't hate the characters he was writing. You know, there was never any moment where he just took like 3 pages to make fun of Star-Lord via other characters just shitting on him. But there's a lot of anti-Spider-Man in that Spider-Man book. You know, like Johnny Storm goes on a whole rant about how he's not relatable and pokes fun at stuff like Spider-Man's parents being in the CIA and stuff. And it's like, okay, we get it. You think Spider-Man's dumb. You're letting it bleed into the story. Why are you even writing this if you think the character's dumb? Who would I want writing Spider-Man right now? I want Gary Conway. What?
This is amazing. It said, this is a Pennywise fanfic. What a clown. 30 minutes into Netflix and chill, it gives you that look.
I don't... What?
So you're Netflixing and chilling with Pennywise, and he gives you that look.
Okay. What look?
Do you not know what you do with Netflix and chill?
you watch Netflix, right? You have a very casual evening watching reruns of Orange is the New Black.
No, you have sexual relations.
Well, that's not Netflix at all.
Netflix plays in the background.
That's just sex.
And then you're doing that with Netflix.
Well, why do you even need Netflix on in the back? Wouldn't that be distracting? Like, what if there's, like a really funny comedy scene and you keep laughing? Or, like, what if there's a really gory scene and it starts, like, affecting your performance? Because you keep seeing, you know, this angry bald man slamming a guy's head into a car door over and over to decapitate him. It's like, I don't think I could keep it up while that's going on in the background. Just turn off Netflix! Right? Oh, hi, Mark. How's your sex life?
There were like 30, 40, 50,000 word fan fictions of Pennywise X Reader. 50,000 words of Pennywise X Reader.
Why?
A lot of people
it's only been out for like a week.
A lot of people have a lot of time on their hands.
I know about Netflix and chill. I'm making a joke. Oh, someone asked who I'd want to to write Spider-Man comics currently. I don't know, someone like Charles Soule, I think, the guy doing the current Daredevil run. Maybe have Joe Kelly do it, because, you know, he's good at writing Spider-Man, and he wrote all the best Deadpool stories in the 90s. I mean, Peter David can't really do it because he's having a lot of health problems right now. You know, if Gary Conway wasn't doing that alternate universe story, Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, I'd probably have him write the mainline Amazing Spider-Man story. You know, someone just said they want to see Stan Lee come back. Okay, there's two problems with that. Is that Stan Lee is 1 billion years old. He can hardly read comic books anymore because his eyesight is that bad. I don't think he'd be very good at writing them currently. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it's not really in the cards. And Stan Lee's are really great ideas, man, but his actual writing is kind of lackluster. If you go back and read old Spider-Man stories, the characters and superpowers and premises are all amazing. The actual dialogue and execution of the stories is just all right. You know, the dialogue's a little clunky. The actual like flow of scenes is a little weird, but that's also partially because of the style he wrote in the early days, which was. You see, okay, let me tell a cool thing about writing comics. So, you can write comic books in two different ways, and one is script first, where you write a whole script for it. You basically write out what happens in every panel and what the dialogue is. That's what I use for Contest of Slashers and I Am Become Pestilence, the two comics I'm writing. Stan Lee, however, was writing about 14 comics at a single time in the 60s. And as you can imagine, he didn't have time to write every single line of dialogue in there beforehand. So what he would do is he would talk to artists at Marvel Comics, right? And this is a method called plot first. And he would talk to his artists, like, say, Steve Ditko, and basically give him, like, a rough outline. Like, here's what'll happen in this issue. And then the artist would go and then write out, or he would draw out all the panels by themselves and then send them to Stan, and then Stan would write based on what's in the panels. So that's why there's so many caption boxes in older comics. Like, you know how there's this, like, non-character narrator talking over everything, explaining what's happening in the panels? That was the author trying to make sense of what they were sent if they wrote it with the plot first method. Because basically they just got, like, here's 25 pages of no one talking, and they had to come up with dialogue and text to connect all that up. And David's probably bored out of his fucking mind right now. And Stan would basically go over that, and then in an afternoon would just write out, like, here's what Spider-Man would say in this panel based on, you know, the face he's making or the way the scene is going. Or here's what I'll put for the caption thing so I can describe. Because sometimes the artist would leave out something and it would be kind of unclear what's happening. And then the caption would have to be the writer kind of playing damage control and then helping to make that more clear in the story. It's an interesting method, and some stories can be written in that way and be very, very interesting. Like, I think Gary Conway did a lot of great ones in the 70s with it. I think a couple of the ones all the way up until the 80s were like that. But usually these days, comics are written almost entirely script first because comic authors lately want a lot more control over the story. So yeah, yeah.
Here's the great summary for another Pennywise X reader fiction.
Oh Jesus Christ! Are you still
it's
on
late
that?
and raining, and Pennywise is horny. He's craving for something, and that something is you.
Well, it would have been funnier if it rhymed, but it didn't.
It's just kind of obvious.
It was supposed to be like a limerick, but it just kind of fucked it up. Why do you torture us like this?
Because it makes great entertainment.
Oh God, you sent me another one.
Yep, it's the one where he's craving for something, and that's you.
Why?
The best fan fictions are the ones that don't have proper, like,
hold on, let me go back
punctuation.
and check the chat, see people yelling at you. Thoughts on JonTron? He's alright. I like his videos. I'm not like the biggest fan and watch everything. I'm sure that question is kind of asking me, like, what do I think of his political stance? And you know what? It doesn't affect his videos, so who cares?
Well, I think if you want to talk about political stances, then watch other YouTubers, like, I don't know. Watch other YouTubers for that.
Okay.
Well, like, H-Bomber guy sometimes gets political, and he does it better than we can, so.
Well, yeah. No, here's the thing. I think anyone can have any kind of political leanings they want, as long as it isn't really affecting their ability to be an entertainer. You know, like if, say, it starts turning to their soapbox where they're specifically just
there are
yelling political
YouTube channels
opinions.
that are just soapboxes.
That's annoying to me. I don't think that's interesting because people only watch that sort of stuff for their own opinions to be validated. Like, they just watch a YouTube channel of someone saying all the same things they already think. I think maybe if it's something you disagree with and you're kind of trying to get a second opinion, because, you know, that encourages free thinking. I don't think people should just subscribe to channels that just shout all the same things they already believe, because it's very reductive. You know, it's just like you're not really gaining anything from it. You're not really getting a new perspective or thinking about things. It's just someone telling you the thing you already thought about stuff. How is Patreon going, and how do you feel about the amount of 10-year-olds in your server clearly targeted towards the millennial generation, so the next one can just be as antisocial as the Oh God stuff? Patreon's going alright. I've got about 11 backers right now. I'm hoping for more, but I'll get more as time goes on.
You'll get more when you release Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah. What do I think of Eon Flux? It's pretty cool. I say Eon.
Aeon.
Because that's how you pronounce that word.
Well, it's Aeon Flux, right?
Oh, yeah. There's an
Aeon
A in
Flux.
front of that.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like it.
The movie
I've
with
only
Charlize
watched-
Theron is amazing.
No, he's talking about the animated series, which came first.
But the movie has Charlize Theron in it.
That doesn't make it automatically a good movie.
Well, Atomic Blonde.
It wasn't good because of her. It was good. I'm not going to say in spite, because she was very good in it.
She was a producer on it.
Alright, never mind. Fuck it. Fine. You win.
Yes.
David, Xavier, read my Pennywise fanfic I sent on Twitter.
Don't.
Okay, let me go see.
Don't.
Inbox. I don't see it. Where is it? Hold on.
It's not on your inbox. It's on your mentions.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go look in there.
It's kind of one joke.
Be me, take a dump in the toilet, flush, one smell pebble doesn't go all the way down, try and flush floater again, it goes down just to reemerge shortly after it starts talking, come down here with me, you'll float too, more pebbles emerge from the toilet hole, they chant, we all float down here, clown nose pops out of the hole, come down here kid, you'll float too, shit explodes from the toilet, traumatized. That was really funny. Really funny.
Do you want to read the other one instead?
No, I don't want to read any more
the 900 word fan fiction.
No, I don't want to read any more
Pennywise
fan
X
fiction.
Repeater. 854 words.
I probably blew out everyone's speakers, but still, I think it's worth saying.
The lightning sounded like whips crackling in the sky before the thunder bouldered down. You sat up from your bed and looked out the window, pitch black.
You have a developmental problem.
You too. I mean, that's what we have in common.
Hide it. Do I ever go on my voice chat in my Discord server? Not really. I'm kind of shy. I don't like talking directly to people that don't notice this, but I'm super fucking shy. I don't want to show my face on the podcast. I don't want to talk to a billion strangers all at once. What do I think of the Ultimate Universe X-Men comics? Well, I've actually just barely started reading those. I read Wolverine vs. Hulk Ultimate Edition the other day, and that was mostly a really funny story. It didn't have a lot of emphasis on fight scenes, but it was pretty okay.
Weren't you ever taught to keep your hands to yourself, he taunted.
I like that part where Wolverine was decapitated by Nick Fury, and then he had his head on a table in a vice, and he goes, do you know where your body is? And he goes, I don't know. And he goes, 6 floors from here. Do you know how you're breathing right now? And Wolverine goes, magic? And he goes, no, because you're you. And apparently Wolverine's abilities make it so that he can be alive even when decapitated. Because his superpower is rather than healing, it's actually surviving. I think that's an interesting idea. I wish they kind of carried that over to the mainline universe. Although I guess still maybe there's a chance for it now that Wolverine's not dead anymore. Someone asked if you will have sex with someone.
No.
Just wanted to say, love your channel and videos, Xavier. David's pretty cool too. Always good when he gets involved. No, it isn't. Why are you lying?
My channel, or else.
Shut up. Shut up. I didn't say you could talk. Burning question. Do you watch Doctor Who? If not, thoughts on Spider-Man Reign. I don't watch Doctor Who.
I do.
I'm an adult.
Thanks for that.
And Spider-Man Reign is alright. I could see what they were going for. They wanted to basically just do, like, Dark Knight Returns, but with Spider-Man. I think everyone brings up the radioactive semen thing because they don't know anything else funny about Spider-Man to bring up, so they just kind of wag that one in your face like it's, like, the only fun fact ever. I can come up with way better, like, dumb Spider-Man moments. Xavier, will my fan art appear in your Ultimate Alliance review? Yeah, I think so, actually, because I been editing the beginning, and I was putting fan art in that. I can't remember which ones I put in already, but I'm sure if I don't get to it in the intro, I'll also put it at the end, because I'm also going to put the names of Patreon backers in the credits of the Ultimate Alliance review.
Patron backers?
The Patramans. Hey, everyone, go donate to Patreon. It's very cool. I'd appreciate it.
Patramon. Oh, yeah, somebody brought up the bit where Spider-Man was molested. That was amazing.
David, you're a sick fuck.
I read that,
What do I think of Smallville? Smallville! I watched the first 2 episodes. I don't know. It's alright.
I thought that bit where Spider-Man was molested was hilarious.
Firestar or Starfire? David, you're a sick, horrible person. Starfire to me is more interesting. Firestar is kind of if a pregnant woman goes swimming, is she a submarine? Yes. Well, technically everyone is just a brain piloting a meat robot, if you think about it. I just remembered that the Iron Fist fan film, that there's going to be a scene where Iron Fist fights like 20 people. That's going to be a bitch to film. Okay. Oh my god, David. Someone just said that.
I'm
Xavier,
drinking your
will you
tears. I've got a mug full of your tears.
conquer
right
your
now.
fear of Skip? I will not conquer my fear of Skip Westslot. Yes, I said that way on purpose. Because if anyone's been molesting Spider-Man, it's Dan. What comic book character do you think is underrated and or overrated? Also, what's your thoughts on DBZ? Moon Knight is severely underrated and is one of the best comic books I've ever read. I love all Moon Knight comics, even like the ones that aren't that great are still pretty awesome. Overrated character? Deadpool right now? Or no, not as much anymore.
Meme pool.
But meme pool. You know, yeah. There's two versions. I would say Batman gets a little overrated a lot. You could almost call it like Bat Meme is the variation of Batman that's basically God and can do anything via prep time. Yeah, Batman could totally beat Darkseid. He just needs like a few days to get ready first. You know, like Batman could totally take Spider-Man in a one-on-one fight. Like he'd have a gadget to like confuse Peter's spider sense, and then he'd like break his web shooters. Batman can do anything. You know, Batman could like kill the whole Avengers. Damian Wayne could beat Spider-Man in a fight.
Here's a question.
Really.
Thoughts on the Venom movie? Because right now it's got a cast of Riz Ahmed, Tom Hardy, and Michelle Williams. And it's not going to be in any way connected to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie we've seen, because that's connected to the MCU.
Who's Michelle Williams playing? Is she going to be Beck?
None of them have been, except for Tom Hardy, no character names have been announced.
You know, I'm going to be shocked, surprised, and confused if any single Venom story from the 90s gets used at all in that script. There were so many Venom one-off stories that were like 6 issues long, give or take. Sometimes 3, sometimes 5, whatever. There was a bunch of Venom stories, and he had his own cast of side characters. He had like a girlfriend, and he had like he was staying in this like underground cavern in San Francisco, protecting a bunch of like transients.
Who wants to live in San Francisco? I mean, if he went to protect people in San Francisco today, he'd be protecting a bunch of computer programmers.
Well, what if he's gay Venom? Anyway,
well, then he'd be protecting gay computer programmers.
Computer programmers are bad enough, but now they're straight? I don't know what to think of this world anymore.
Somebody said San Francisco is a nice city. No, it's not.
Transevual Venom. Anyway, so basically you don't think Batman's overrated, you just hate the fan base of people who say Batman can be anyone. Yeah. What would be better for a movie, Eddie Brock's Venom or Flash Thompson's Venom? I think there's a bit more inner conflict with Eddie Brock, just because the symbiote makes him do things that he secretly wants to do, but thinks he doesn't want to do. Whereas with Flash Thompson, he has a lot more problems with his, you know, his father and his alcoholism. I guess those are a bit more down to earth and relatable for some people. Or even, you know, I guess there's, like, themes of being a military veteran, or, you know, you could do a lot to talk about his whole wheelchair-bound thing. I think both would be interesting. I think, for me, I want to see Venom with Eddie Brock first, but Flash Thompson Venom could definitely be pretty awesome. Someone asked if I wanted to hear a joke. Amy Pascal. Oh,
hey, yo. Actually, I think the bigger joke would be Sony Pictures.
Xavier, what do you do on a daily basis in October?
He gets up, he eats food, he drives
I don't know,
2 hours a day.
Yeah, I drive 2 hours a day. I don't always eat food. Food's expensive, man. Sometimes I have to skip that part.
Sometimes
Xavier,
Xavier,
what's your favorite Halloween costume? I've worn a lot, because I've been a cosplayer basically my whole life. I've been making costumes of shit since I was, like, 2. Honestly, I really like my Isaac Clarke costume just because that was such a pain in the ass to build, and my dad and my uncle and my mom all helped me build it. And it was just a lot of fun memories of us trying to figure out how to make that design with foam and leather and hot glue and glow sticks. Like it was a lot of fun to put together. Xavier, what do you think? Who do you think would win in a fight? MCU Captain America or DCU Batman? DCU Batman would probably murder him with a shotgun. Who is hotter, women, Marvel or DC? Oh, DC, absolutely. Xavier, how do you drive 2 hours a day with your fear of driving? Not well. You know how Sony apparently is making a Sonic movie? How much of a train wreck do you think it's going to be? Not that much of a train wreck because I'm voicing Sonic in it. So if the suit enhances the user's properties, aka She-Venom's gets assets, then you can imagine what it would do for Eddie Brock. What do you think, Xavier? I think there's a reason Eddie Brock has so many tentacles. Xavier, if you had to reboot the Marvel Universe, what change would you make? I would have Spider-Man and Mary Jane be a couple again, and Spider-Man be a relatable, normal person with, like, normal problems. Who's the bigger nerd since Dave watched Doctor Who?
I watched Doctor Who and Star Trek.
He's the bigger nerd.
Hey,
David, you like Star Trek, you don't have a right to call any word a nerd, JK.
I like how they spelled it Star Trek with a CK.
Bang, bang? That's not a question. Okay, who do you think would win if there's no killing in the fight?
Star Trek. You know what the really funny thing that I have
Captain
about
America,
these days
honestly.
is...
You just hit him in the dick with his shield a whole bunch of times.
Probably that would work.
Captain America. That's the American way.
That's the... No, that's the Japanese way.
Favorite DC animated movie, Under the Red Hood.
Can we all agree that the least favorite is The Killing Joke?
Boy, did they butcher that shit up.
That sex scene was super awkward. I saw that in theaters.
With me?
Yes. Do you think... Why do I think Star Wars secretly sucks? Depends on what Star Wars you're talking about.
Is it old Star Wars or current Star Wars?
I think the original Star Wars is good. The new thing is mediocre. And I think it's just bad. It's not bad. It's just really soullessly uncreative, and that's why I hate it so much. I hate it not that it's... I mean, the prequels I admire for their creative vision, but I think that they're just an insane person making crazy nonsense.
Do you like how Aunt May in 616 universe looks like she's about to die? No? What? I don't... That's a weird question. Xavier, when are you planning on answering my emails about joining the KKK? And if you don't want to, then please forward it to David. Yeah, I still gotta forward those to David, man. I'm sorry. I'll get around to it. How would they do a Marvel versus DC game? Well, did you ever see Mortal Kombat versus DC? You do that.
Also, somebody asked about the Orville. Have I watched that? I watched about 20 minutes of the first episode, and then I had to quit because it was just unwatchable.
Xavier, I'm gonna be an ape from Planet of the Apes for Halloween. Cool, wouldn't that just look like a normal ape? Normal ape?
Stop it, I'm talking about...
Oh god, the hiccups are kicking in.
I'm ranting about the Orville. I hate the Orville so much. Is David
Xavier,
a woman?
when are you going to finish Dead Space? I'll finish Dead Space when it will get over 1,000 views regularly. Am I going to see Cult of Chucky? I already did, and I quite liked it. I know a lot of people aren't happy about it, but I didn't see really anything to complain about. I'm very excited for the next one, seeing as how this one was kind of basically just stroking off in your face about how it's going to be a sequel.
Is David a woman?
Anyway,
no. Who would you cast? An MCU Fantastic Four movie?
We did a whole video about that.
But I don't remember.
And then all of the people we cast for it either like came out and said they hate Marvel, or they don't want, or they got cast as other Marvel characters.
Orville is cheap ripoff Galaxy Quest. No. It's not a ripoff of Galaxy Quest because Galaxy Quest actually makes...
Dane is still here.
Galaxy Quest actually makes fun of Star Trek. It critiques it a little bit. The Orville doesn't make fun of Star Trek. It just has... It's just Star Trek with dick jokes.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just awful because it's got the Seth MacFarlane-style humor where the humor is just that everybody is just a complete... what's the word? What's the word? Everybody is a complete just dick to each other all the time. And that's completely incompatible with Gene Roddenberry's hopeful version of the future where we're all working together. So it's completely incompatible with what Star Trek is all about. And that's why I hate Seth MacFarlane's humor, is because his Seth MacFarlane humor is basically everybody being mean to each other. And that means I don't like the characters, I just hate them. And then, of course... It's also it's got a bunch of like just ego stroking for Seth MacFarlane, and there's some weird quasi-sexist bits that just make me uncomfortable. Like in the bit in the first episode where everybody constantly reminds Seth MacFarlane's ex-wife that she cheated on him, and it's like, yeah, that's part of their character arcs, but they just keep reminding her about it so often that it just gets creepy.
Man, I wish I could keep reminding my ex that she cheated on me. Hey, Dane, how's the drawing going, man? I'm excited to see what you do. Dane's the artist on my book that I'm going to pitch. No, Dane Amiote.
Why do I like SAO?
Amiote?
What's SAO?
Amiote. Is Sword Art Online.
I don't like Sword Art.
David loves Sword Art Online. It's his favorite. He loves it more than Star Trek.
Listen, I've never seen Sword Art Online in my whole life.
David loves it. David cosplays as Kirito for Comic-Con every year. Rick and Morty versus Doc Brown and Marty. No killing. Now, which version of Doc Brown and Marty is it? Is it the Justin Roiland version of them from YouTube? Well, not YouTube anymore. That got taken down. Has anyone seen the very first, like, kind of pilot thing for Rick and Morty, which came out in, like, 2006, which was Doc and Marty, and... It was voiced by Justin Roiland, and it was, like, really poorly drawn. But it basically just turned into a hentai at one point, where, like, for maybe a solid 30 seconds of it, Marty was licking Doc Brown's nether regions while also stroking some things. And the joke wore off, like, in, like, the first 2 seconds. And then it just kept going, and it was really uncomfortable and disgusting. Seth MacFarlane, let's write a new joke. In Peter voice, this reminds me of the time when... Yeah, that's pretty... Well, he doesn't really even
There's
draw.
Not a lot of cutaway jokes in the Orville, really, but it's just awful.
Marty, you gotta lick my balls for the time machine to work. It was really horrible. I could see why he's not like a lead writer on Rick and Morty. But boy, does he do good with those voices.
Rick and Marty?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Huh, when do you expect your comics to come out? Both Cost and Pestilence.
What's Cost?
Contest of Slashers.
Oh.
Contest of Slashers, if I'm being honest, is kind of hitting some snags. Because really it's just hard to get Brandon... like, to have, like, free time to work on it because he's in college right now. He's getting swamped with so much work for college. And whenever he has free time, he usually spends it, like, kind of relaxing, which I don't at all demonize him for. He should. I would rather him, you know... I want him to draw when... Yeah, I don't want him to die over working on 2 things at once for, like, 19 hours a day. Who would you guys like to voice in a Spider-Man cartoon if you could voice anyone except Spider-Man? Well, as we've seen in recent history, I can voice Venom pretty good. I'd do that. Xavier, have you seen Rick and Morty Season 3, Episode 7? I don't know. Which one was that one? I think I did.
I haven't.
Xavier, have you watched King of the Hill? Yeah, I used to watch that all the time when it was on.
Hill of the King?
It was like, my mom and I used to just stay up all night watching cartoons because we both had insomnia from like a very... Like, basically, as soon as I was born. So we would just stay up watching cartoons because I was homeschooled. And, you know, she had, like, work, like, later in the day sometimes. So, yeah, I have a lot of good memories of watching King of the Hill with my parents.
Have I seen JonTron? No. Have you seen... Favorite movies? We already said this. The Thing,
Xavier, what are your thoughts on the Ultimates? The Ultimates is pretty cool. I like the first 2 volumes, and then the third one kind of shits itself and is stupid. Xavier, will you ever get music.ly or musically
No.
or whatever? No?
I can tell you already know. Are excited for Stranger Things of Season 2? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't...
Oh, Return of... Oh, yeah, that one. That was a cool episode.
I don't watch
David...
JonTron because I don't watch gaming reviewers. Because I'm not a big video gamer, so...
He doesn't even watch my videos.
I do watch your videos, like, 2 weeks after
Xavier,
they come
your
out.
voice sounds a little weird. Can you check your mic?
No, his voice doesn't sound weird at all.
Well, actually, David, can you check it? It sounds good to me. I don't...
It sounds fine to me, too.
I just listened to the stream itself. It sounds all right. I'm not sure what the problem is.
David, sing
I
a
don't know.
song.
I'm gonna draw Venom from
No.
my boy Godzilla Mendoza. Oh, thank you, Fancy Goblin. I'd love that. Have you ever heard of Planet Broadcasting? No, what's that? Sup, nerds? Oh, hey, Leon S. Kennedy. How you doing, man? What's up? David, sing Freebird.
I don't know.
How long have we been going?
About 2 hours.
Wow. You know, this is what happens every time we stream, is we always set, like, a really kind of limited time for it, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Planet Broadcasting, Australia's largest independent podcast network. Oh, cool. Huh.
Okay.
Fun.
Someone sent you fan art on Twitter.
Cool.
It's you drinking a coffee mug that says
I
tears.
saw it. I love it.
Carnage would work better because they are both ginger. Because that translates to voice, doesn't it? Yeah, you have to have the same hair color as the character you're voicing. Otherwise, it just wouldn't sound right. What's your favorite YouTube channel? I don't know.
Godzilla
I like
Mendoza.
a lot of them.
He likes Godzilla Mendoza best.
Xavier, how many notifications do you get on Twitter? Do you mean like mentions and tweets and stuff, or do you mean like messages? Because messages, I get like 15 to 30 a day somewhere, and I try to reply to all of them. I'm gonna be honest. Some of them I kind of skip over because they're just hi, what's up, or hey, how you doing? And I really don't want to just like. People kind of message me with the expectation that we'll become fast friends and I'll be able to text them like every day and like ask their life story and, you know, tell them about personal things. I don't know. I have enough people that I'm internet friends with already and it's hard to keep up with them. And adding more and more constantly would be really obnoxious just because I can't keep up with that. So usually I'm more likely to respond to like Twitter DMs if someone asks me like a very guided question or has something to show me. Like, hey, here's some fan art or here's some bad comic art or hey, what's your opinion of X or Y or whatever. I reply to those a lot. But if it's just, hey man, what's up? I usually tend to just skip over those just because I can't. There's so many that I just can't do them. Any advice for girls? Dude, I don't know how I've managed to have 3 girlfriends. I suck at it. It's just weird. I'm so bad at this. Don't ask me these questions. I would just lead you the wrong way.
Yeah, don't look at Xavier for advice for anything. He's not the.
Twilex
He's not your.
or Asari?
I don't.
Sorry.
I don't care.
Xavier, when will you grant mod powers for me so that I may possibly moderate the server constantly because I do nothing else? Please help, oh god. I'll grant you mod powers when you stop asking constantly. I kid. You know I kid. Was something about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Bumblebee?
Nobody really.
I saw Transformers 5 the other day.
I didn't. I've avoided it.
It's really bad. Do I like James Bond? Not really. David does. You like James Bond, right, David?
Last I checked.
Okay. Anything to add to that, or just sing a song, you beautiful butterflies? Alright. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. That's a song.
I have to go. This was fun, except for the fanfics. No, the fanfics are the best part.
Oh, see you, Liam. It was nice having you. Good having you back after all this time.
Yeah.
Traps are not gay, followed by does David is gay?
I don't... I'm just not gonna get involved in this.
I love that both of those got sent in one after the other. Oh, that was great. Orgasm in Ginger due to that music. If traps are gay, then I don't want to be straight. Alright, well. You got a sound clip of me saying that now. Can I make a Moon Knight video? What would it be about? Because not really Moon Knight video games or movies or anything. It would mostly just be me talking about the comics. And I don't know if I'm really ready to review comics on their own yet. I feel like that would be kind of boring.
David likes Spider-Man 4 PS4 confirmed. What? I don't have...
Xavier, who would win? The oh, I'm yawning because I'm tired. Who would win? TMNT original cartoon version or Bumblebee? I don't know. Probably Bumblebee because he's like a 19-foot tall robot with lasers.
Mm-hmm. I don't really... It doesn't... Yeah. Well, then again...
Great answer.
I think since you're getting kind of tired, we'll probably have to wrap it up pretty soon, right? What do you think?
I think before it runs long and everyone starts staying here like out of obligation, you know?
Yeah.
Like that one time I streamed for 10 hours and everyone stayed and like was awake the entire night. I felt bad. Xavier, when are you making a video about how he turkey sandwich joke flew over people's heads so that far they end up circling? I'm sorry, I saw the word
that was a Freudian
and
slip
back,
on your part there.
and I just said circle jerk.
What is your
I'm
mind
sorry,
like?
he usually says
You are
something
a
like that in
demented
his
person.
messages. I don't know. That was a weird slip. Anyway, yeah, I don't think pointing out that the turkey sandwiches thing went over people's heads would make it more funny. I think it's funnier if people are still confused about it and then get it later on. Bumblebee is like 10 feet in the original cartoon. Well, you know, he's also the most effeminate car. Dan Slott is my dad. I'm so sorry.
You know what? I think I'll just call it. We'll wrap it up pretty soon.
Can you beg him to stop? Leon Kennedy, just ask him. Just ask him to stop. Just ask him, please. He'll listen to you. He doesn't listen to us.
What if he's as terrible a dad as he is a writer?
What, does he just throw his kids out windows?
Yes.
What's your least favorite Marvel universe? The version of the Marvel universe.
Cinematic Universe.
What are your thoughts on the channel called Diversity in Comics?
Don't watch it.
Don't really watch him. I saw like one of his videos and I was like, yeah, this isn't really my thing. I think he's kind of boring as a reviewer, and while I hate current overly political Marvel comics, and I think I think the writers are all a bunch of assholes right now, I don't necessarily like his handling of it. He's kind of throwing a wrench in everyone's whole plan to make, you know, Marvel better again by combating it the exact wrong way. Although I don't think he deserves the kind of treatment he's gotten back from the writers, because despite really only making videos about how much he dislikes their works, like, a bunch of Marvel writers recently came together in a Facebook group and then conspired to have him arrested after finding out personal information for him. People in the industry should be better than that, and I think all of those writers should lose their fucking jobs because that's disgusting. You know, you can't personally harass your critics just because they disagree with you. That's awful. So, I don't know. I don't really like or follow his content. It's not my thing.
But he should have the ability to say
he
what
should
he's
be treated better, though.
To.
Xavier, what do you think of the Inhumans? Comics Inhumans are alright. I haven't really read a lot of Inhumans comics. They seem interesting enough. TV show looks like a dumpster fire, and I'm not into it at all.
I'm not gonna watch it, so...
I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, Marvel Cinematic Universe out. Like, it's just been kind of consistent disappointments or like middle of the road movies. It's either, you know, I haven't been very like quiet about my dislike of Doctor Strange, but even Spider-Man: Homecoming just felt all right to me. It didn't feel like the greatest movie in the universe, like some people are saying.
It was adequate.
Guardians of the Galaxy was above average. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I mean, just because that was more closer.
That was a James Gunn movie, so he had a bit more of a personality to it.
James Gunn is a better writer than I think most Marvel movies have on them. I kind of wish he was writing more than just the Guardians movies, but it's a lot of work.
Well, he's a writer-director, so at anything he writes, he directs as well. So unless you...
Out of everyone asking questions, who is my favorite and who is my least favorite? Well, David's asked a couple of questions, and he's my least favorite. And my most favorite is...
David.
Hold on. You. You are my favorite. You know who you are. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you're my favorite.
Homecoming was awesome.
It was alright.
It was awesome.
It wasn't bad. It was alright. It was a thing that exists. God, I feel like everyone's gonna start hating me just because I'm not super MCU hyped all the time. Power Rangers or Voltron? Doctor Who, since it's in the same camp.
I don't watch either of them.
Homecoming is a mixed bag. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. What titles from Legacy are you excited about? The new story... Oh, Marvel Legacy. You mean that thing where Marvel attempts to get back some of its older fans by clickbaiting them and then making you think that they're going to revive all the old characters when really it's just like a time travel thing that's extremely formulaic, where the new character time travels back to hang out with their older counterpart. Then they basically just like beat a villain, discuss the ethics and or general morality and philosophies and everything about being them. And then the new guy character goes back to the future, and then the issue ends. And then you just copy and paste that plot over for all of them. I don't fucking care. I'm so done with Marvel Comics right now. Like, you only got like a handful of really good stuff right now. I think the Deadpool comics are actually going pretty strong.
I think that you need to. I think that you've talked enough about your things, your feelings about the Marvel comics. So I don't think we need to repeat.
I'm just gonna say which ones I think are good right now.
Imagine David wrote his own Star Trek fan fiction. We did.
We did once.
We did.
Yeah.
You want to tell this story?
You want to just read it?
I don't have it. I lost it.
Let me go find it. I bet I have it.
Okay, so the story behind this is that Xavier and I decided to ironically co-write a Wesley X Riker fanfiction because we could get all of the puns involving phasers that we ever wanted. So
this was a dumb thing we did in like 10th grade.
We did it in 10th grade.
We apologize.
We apologize. We do.
Let's see. It was an average day aboard the Enterprise D. Wesley Crusher sits bored, staring out the window and fantasizing about magical adventures with his crewmates. It's a brisk, bright day outside on Omicron Theta. Him and Riker had just beamed down in search of life. Riker is scanning as per usual on his tricorder. He says, "I do not detect any life on this planet." Wesley says, "We're all alone on such a beautiful day." Riker looks deep into his young companion's eyes. "I've detected an organism. Look down." Wesley's eyes shift down in surprise. "Oh no, he's seen my warp nacelle." Wesley blushes. Riker encroaches upon the ensign and closes the space between them. They press close together, rubbing nacelles. Suddenly, Wesley snaps out of his fantasy as Counselor Troy enters the room. "Stupid girls," he thinks. "They can't even have beards. I wish they would go away." We have a very low opinion of Wesley Crusher. Later that day, after fighting yet another multidimensional being with the rest of the crew, Wesley, I think I wrote that line, Wesley retreats to his quarters to play video games. He finds himself clamoring for another adventure with his bearded crewmates. Just then, a shirtless Worf enters the room. Then a hairy, violent giant looks over him and utters, "You did not perform well today. Captain Picard told me to punish you. You've been a bad ensign." Wesley has never been more happy to be in so much trouble. You could tell how fucking bored we were that one time in class in 2014.
Is this,
I think,
David's or Xavier's fanfic? It is both of our fanfics.
Worf approaches and Wesley begs, "Punish me with your Klingon strength. I've been a bad crewmate." As that word escapes, Picard walks in. Wesley's photon torpedo is primed and ready to fire. He must hide it in his pants. "What are you doing all by yourself in here, Wesley?" Picard asks as Wesley shuffles about the room with his back turned to the captain. I was just, thinking about adventures with the hairy crew," Wesley snaps in fear. "I'm suited..." What the fucking fuck? "I'm suitably hairy, you will find," the captain moans. "Wait, what?" Wesley says in confusion. I said, "Are you feeling okay, bro? You seem pretty stoned, bro," Picard in a frantically slurred speech. "Wait, what?" Wesley snaps in confusion. "I don't know! I haven't said a word! What are you on about, Wesley?" Picard demands to know in his usual stern manner. "I don't know, I'm not feeling well," Wesley mumbles as he lays down. "I think I need some rest." "Okay," Picard says with a look of utter confusion on his face. "Just don't overwork yourself, son," he says to his young counterpart. The next day, Wesley was bored yet again and thinking about beards.
This is amazing.
Okay. He decided that if he couldn't have them in reality, he would have them in his dream. He starts on his path to the holodeck, on the way thinking about how much he loves beards and dreads the fact that he is too effeminate to grow one himself. After much pondering on the subject, he finds himself at peace with it and decides that he would rather look upon the beard of another than own one himself. He must have someone with a beard. He thinks of all the crewmates he would love to have and for their facial fitness and graceful goatees. Guinan's goatee is coming along nicely. Perhaps Wesley will give her a call soon.
What?
Guinan, remember? Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, I do.
Wesley opens the door to the holodeck and is shocked by what he sees. Wesley gets off the couch and begins putting his pants back on. Riker turns his head and looks at the door and yelps in surprise. "Wesley, it's not what you think!" No! Show me what you were doing," he says. The holographic Wesley eagerly takes his pants off and slides Riker's little Enterprise into his docking bay. Riker moans, "I'm gonna give you the Enterprise D." Riker looks at the real Wesley as he moans and gasps through his sweaty beard. "Oh, Riker, you have never needed a simulation for this. I've always wanted this. My shuttle bay is ready for you to dock." The simulation ends as the holograms disappear. Riker's Romulan ale falls to the ground. What the fuck, dude? Wesley walks over in a trance and says, "Riker, use your phaser on me. Set it to level 10. Wesley could not handle wide beam mode, but Riker helped, and his beard made him so much more motivated. Soon Worf entered the room, but this time it was no illusion of Wesley's. He looked at them in shock, but just then, he smiles. Continued in part 2. And then the very last line is, "David's gonna write the rest of this. I'ma go throw up. What the fuck?"
The puns, I love the puns so much.
Wide beam mode. I'm gonna give you the Enterprise D. This is like we wrote this like the second week we were friends.
Yeah, we did. We were really weird friends.
Oh god, I'm so sorry for everyone who had to listen to that.
Yeah. Somebody says I need part 2 now. You want to write it?
No. Fuck that. No.
Why not? I need your help.
You write it.
It's a team
effort. I wrote
effort.
the first thing. You write the rest.
It's a team effort. We need to co-write it together.
Can we have Deanna Troy walk in and go, I'm not sure of that now, Captain.
No, everybody has to say Deanna doesn't have a beard, so she can't be a part of this.
Like, they throw her out
Yeah.
because she's not masculine enough.
Yeah, exactly. They're engaging in very masculine pursuits, so they can't have any women intruding on that.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
It's perfectly
And
rational.
then Captain Picard walks in and goes, "What's happening? Oh my god!" And then it ends.
No, it needs to be like in My Immortal, where it's like, what the hell are you Muda Fukers doing?
You mother fukers.
Your mother Fukers. With mother Fukers, that specific typo.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I think that's a good way to end with our amazing...
No, that's not. It was
Well, how
horrible.
else are we going to end? Awkwardly?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only way for this to... Okay.
Bye, I guess, you
Send it off.
guys. We'll see you later. We have to...
What Moon Knight comic would I recommend for someone who hasn't read Moon Knight? Read the 2006 one, the 2009 one, and then the 2014 one, and then the 2016 one. Don't read the Bendis one. Don't just read all the ones from after the 2000s, except the one written by Bendis.
So are we gonna end or not?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, sure.
Well, it's been 2.5 hours, so...
You're 2.5 hours. Bye.
We ended this an hour late, so we will see you later. Goodbye.